Hi Joy, I'm going to walk you through the components versus an assignment in the database, and then we can for sure touch base on FaceTime or whatever it might be, but I know it's the middle of the night there, so I wanted to get this to you as soon as possible, and then we can go from there. So when you go in, you go to your classroom, and then you go to assignments, and then you're going to land on this screen right here. Now the components, I think this might be the part that is the confusing part right now. Components are basically what makes up your grade. So it looks like maybe you have a project and a homework, and then I'm not sure what the S might be, but anyways, the components. I'm going to compare this maybe to a regular standard academic, like a core class such as math, just because I think it will help maybe understand what a component is. So a component would be like tests, quizzes, class participation, and then homework assignments. So you would have those four components: tests, quizzes, class participation, and homework assignments. Then under those things you would have quizzes, and then down here you would have like chapter 1 quiz, chapter 2 quiz. So for your class, what I would see is that you would maybe have a component of projects. You would have a component of maybe class participation. So your components right here need to equal 100%, because what it is doing is it's breaking down how you want your grading divided. So if you want projects to be worth 50% of their grade and their class participation to be worth 50% of their grade, you would put in projects. So here, what we're going to do is I'm going to delete these. I wrote them down so that I could so then what you're going to do is you're going to add a component. So you're going to call the component, we can call it P for participation. So then we'll put class participation here, and we'll give it 50% of their grade is that. Now obviously you can go in and change these. I'm going to show you how to do that. So 50% of your grade, your components total 50% currently. They must total 100% for the grading average to work right. So then we'll add in P for projects. I know you might have totally different ones in mind, but let's just get started on this, and then I'll show you how to change things. And then 50%, because again it has to equal 100%, and I'm not sure what other assignments or type of assignments. Components is really about type. So we'll post that. And I must have hit edit instead of delete. So class participation with a 50% post. And now I see what you're talking about, how it's doing that. Okay, hold on just 1 second. I'll pause this video and see what I can figure out. Okay, Joy, I think I figured out why it was not putting in the second one. It looked like I was trying to give it the same letter without realizing it. I was going to do participation and projects, and the database, instead of giving you a warning, it just doesn't do it. So I'm not sure why that is, but so what I did was I made sure I gave one a C and one a P for class participation, and then projects. Again, that percentage has to equal 100%. I didn't know exactly what you had component-wise, but we can definitely tweak these or edit them up here. So class participation, I didn't put any assignments, but to put a grade in, you're going to actually have to add an assignment. So if you want to put in like sometimes what I've seen people do is like the first week of school. So they would put in that and then just participation. And then that would be an assignment. And then every single week they would have that as their participation. and then you can change that. I'll delete that one because that's might not be at all how you want to set up. But, and then class projects up here. So when it's gray up here, it jumps down to this assignment. This assignment is only for the one that's gray. So if you're up here on class participation, it will be the assignments for that. If you're down here on class projects, the assignments will be for that. So what I did was I saw that you had a ragdoll, a stitch sampler, and the sewing machine setup. So I went and added the assignment, and this is where you actually add the assignment. So you can change the date, put in your assignment name, how many points you want to give it, and the weight is for like if you want it to be worth 2 grades or whatever. Most of the time it's always just 1, and then hit post. So again, if you click on add, actually because they're at 50% and equal 100 right now, I think you would have to, like class participation, you would have to edit, change that to be 25%, and then we're going to add tests. You probably might not give tests in sewing, but just for an example, tests and the 25%, because that will help it equal 100%. We'll give it a color just because that way it would be easier to see, and then hit post. And then now you have tests, class participation, class projects. I'll go ahead and delete that test, but again, it's that these all need to equal 100%, and none of the components can have the same letter. If they have the same letter, it just doesn't do it. It doesn't give you an error that says you can't do that. It just doesn't work. So I'll go ahead and delete this. When I do that, now my percentage only equals 75%, and it's saying you have to total 100%. So I will edit this class participation back up to 50% and hit post. So now I have class participation with no assignments. So to enter, before you could enter any grades for that class participation, you would at least have to enter an assignment. So you could even just call it participation, and then you could get them the overall, like just give them 1 grade on their class participation. I'll delete that just because. So there's their class projects with the 3 assignments. So really, I think what you were putting in under components were really not components. They were really assignments that you wanted. So hopefully this helps. I'm definitely available via FaceTime or different ways of connecting today, but I wanted to get this to you first thing in the morning. Thanks for your patience, and I appreciate all your efforts into the database. I'm sorry that it was frustrating, but hopefully this will help. I'll talk to you later.